Now time for the 7 things you'll be talking about today. Number 7.
I can't vouch for this, but they say the Kansas City Star was once a highly respected newspaper. Well, over the weekend, they hosted a call for the Kansas City Chiefs to fire kicker Harrison Butker over his Catholicism-based commencement address at a Catholic Benedictine college. And they want him replaced with a female kicker for, quote, poetic justice. Now, this is a newspaper nerd writing this, obviously. The headline embarrassingly read, KC Chiefs should fire Harrison Butker and hire someone who kicks like a girl. Poorly? Is that what we're doing? We want to hire someone that kicks poorly? This is insane because he's one of the reasons they've won 2 Super Bowls in a row. He's one of the reasons why they're up for a 3rd one this year, and they're the betting favorite. And the people they mentioned, one isn't even eligible, and the other could not get anywhere near an NFL team unless she was way hotter and going to be a cheerleader.
Number 6.
The absurdly trashy fight between a bunch of women. Wait, is there a theme today? A bunch of women at a U.S. House committee hearing that heard female members of Congress referencing each other's fake eyelashes and their bleach blonde, bad-built butch body. It was, it was bad, and it has gotten worse, okay? It has gotten worse, and it's embarrassing. Now, Jasmine Crockett, the Democrat from Texas, she has a shirt out. It's part of the Crockett Clapback collection. Oh, boy. And on this shirt, she has the 6 Bs, as she's calling them. Bleach blonde, bad-built, butch body. It's great stuff. At the bottom, they misspelled her own name. Yeah. So she also went on MSNBC and said, I'm always going to be smarter than MAGA people, which, of course, leads you to stuff like this. So good job. Good job, everyone.
Number 5.
Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi is confirmed dead after the helicopter carrying him and his foreign minister crashed on Sunday in the country's mountainous northwest region. His pronouns now are were, I guess, at this point. Search efforts yielded results that were not happy. They did not end up with anything, really. They yielded no results hours later, which I think we all knew exactly what was going on there. The condition of those on board was unknown, but now it is known. So there we go. He is dead. Everyone on there was. And they said that 2 of the people involved had made a call after the thing, but then I heard they're dead as well. Look, here's the deal. This is a bad scene. Okay, let's just keep this in mind. The situation there in Iran could get a lot worse or a lot better, but no one knows yet.
Number 4.
Crowds of pro-Hamas protesters took to the streets of Mobile chanting genocidal slogans. Luckily for them, their stenographers at AL.com were there. And in some of the tweets about this, John Sharp, one of those stenographers at AL.com, talked about how Free Palestine and other groups were on hand. Of course, they were chanting from the river to the sea, Palestine should be free, which is an anti-Semitic call for genocide. But that did not really make John Sharp's reporting, which is kind of weird, because I think that's kind of a big part of this. You know, you would think that if a bunch of white folks got out and were protesting something and were chanting racist slogans, that might make the news story. I don't know, but I guess we're still trying to figure out whether or not from the river to the sea, Palestine should be free is an anti-Semitic genocidal slogan when it clearly is about killing people and pushing them into the sea.
Number 3.
U.S. Senators Katie Britt from Montgomery, Tom Cotton from Arkansas, and 14 others are sponsoring the Israeli Security Assistant Support Act, which would force the Biden administration to stop threatening aid to Israel and deliver on the aid that was passed by Congress. Unfortunately for the Biden administration, this has a little bit of bipartisan support. Britt, for her part, slammed Joe Biden in her press release, saying President Biden has undermined Israel and empowered Hamas. We must stand unequivocally with Israel as she fights to end Hamas's reign of terror and ensure there is never another October 7th. Meanwhile, the International Criminal Court is calling for the arrest of Netanyahu. Yeah, Prime Minister Netanyahu, which is never going to happen and only delegitimizes the International Criminal Court further, to which I say, okay, good. They don't really do anything anyway, so let's stop playing.
Number 2.
President Joe Biden has some new bad polls to go with the bad day he had at Morehouse College over the weekend, and it started as he was captured looking forlorn about the fact that no one cared that he was in Atlanta at all, and almost no one showed up for his motorcade. If you haven't seen the photos, go look at him. He's looking out the window. He's sad. He's looking very, 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 very sad. But anyway, the terrible person, notorious liar that is our current president, stood there at Morehouse College as some people turned their back on him. He then told them, ready? Republicans hate them. White men are hunting black people for sport. Books are being banned, and that blacks are required to be 10 times better than anyone else to just get a fair shot. He then foolishly added, quote, they don't see you in the future of America, but they're wrong. He lied about the voting in Georgia and even clapped as a graduate declared that a ceasefire in Israel and Hamas conflict must happen right now.
Now, time for the number 1 thing you'll be talking about today.
Kind of surprising here to see this take place, but it did in the state of Alabama. We dodged a gigantic bullet. This was a gigantic bullet that was dodged by the state when the UAW failed to unionize the Mercedes plant in Vance, Alabama, and a battery plant near there. The state got very lucky. And you'll start hearing things about the Alabama discount and all these other things. This is sort of one of the things they tried to sell to these union members, that, hey, it's cheaper to produce here in Alabama because people get paid less, and that's why these companies come here. Let me share with you a little secret. That's true. Okay? Do you not know this? See, let me tell you how the world works. People don't want to spend more money producing their product and then have to charge more for it in order to make a profit. So they look for opportunities to get quality products produced at a lesser rate. So they come to Alabama in order to do that. Now, what happens when that happens is people bring their businesses here, and the jobs pay more than jobs that are already existing. So the state says, if you bring those high-paying jobs here, we will help you absorb some of the cost, mostly through tax abatements and infrastructure setup. And you do, in fact, get a little bit of an Alabama discount for doing business here, but it creates a ton of jobs, and that's better for everyone. A rising tide lifts all boats. The UAW wanted to end that. So what could happen is they would say, okay, fine, we'll just go deal with you in Detroit. That's what they want. The end result would actually be companies going to Mexico, but forget about that. They lost, so they lost once again, and that's good. This is a major blow to the UAW. No question about it. You'll hear that it's not the end of the world. It's not a knockout punch. They talked to a bunch of labor analysts at different colleges, and they said, no, this isn't a big deal. The momentum is still in their favor. It's not. This is a huge deal. This is a major loss, a huge setback for the UAW, and a huge win for Alabama. And the reason it's the number 1 thing, well, it's very simple. This has long-lasting implications because the Open for Business sign was about to be turned off in Alabama, but it stays on for right now, and the state will benefit, the citizens will benefit, and people will benefit from this decision that UAW made. So there we go. A great story for the state of Alabama. Keep it locked right here. We'll continue bringing you some great stories. We'll be right back.
Get WVNN's Dale Jackson 7 Things You Should Be Talking About Today right in your email box every morning. Go to yellowhammernews.com and sign up today.